Ahoy! So if you hadn't already guessed by the greeting, then certainly by the backdrop behind me, that I'm coming to you from the lovely city of Prague. It's almost 9 years since I was here last time, so long overdue a visit. I thought I'd have a bit of an easier trip this time. Last few trips have been a bit full on. Not exactly sure what the plan is yet, but plan to get to date, a bit acquainted with Prague again. Just over here at the Kinsky Palace, Franz Kafka. Went to gymnasium in his young years. Now the National Gallery of Prague. Not think too far away as well as the insurance office where he worked for several years. Just here you've got artwork in the atrium of the Municipal Library of Prague called Idiom by Matej Kren, a Slovak artist. A bit more information, created in 1998, composed of 8,000 books, provided by the library. I seem to remember reading it. It was first exhibited in Sao Paulo though. It was moved here eventually. It gives new meaning to getting lost in a book though, doesn't it? Don't really know what the story behind it, but interesting. No shortage of weird and wonderful things in the city. Here you've got this lovely Baroque church. Just from the outside it's impressive. You can see the huge decorative rococo portals around the windows. Something inside I want to show you, something a bit different. So just up there as you come in the main entrance, our right corner, hidden away. You wouldn't know it's there unless you already knew in advance. You've got a 400-year-old mummified arm. Just make it out, looks a bit like a piece of black salami hanging from a hook. Apparently it belongs to a thief. Apparently legend goes that the thief tried to steal the jewels off the Virgin Mary statue in the church, but the statue grabbed his arm and wouldn't let go, so the local butcher's guild had to come and cut his arm off. And then they've hung it here for 400 years as a warning to other potential thieves. Lovely church just in itself. Paintings on the ceiling, like you'd typically find a lot of Baroque churches. Sort of opens up the ceiling, fool the eye and sort of open up the space to like the outer world, usually the sky, with all these ecclesiastical figures, angels and the like. Got a massive old, presumably Baroque era organ as well. Wonder how many pipes is on. There you go, got all the different organ stops. How many there are. Quite a good view from the back here. It's a bit hard in the old town, like these buildings, to get like a full view, full perspective. So many little narrow winding streets, just the way it's been built over the hundreds of years. Got to cross it at least once. Just go down the steps off the Charles Bridge here. And so it goes much quieter into like this nice little cosy, quiet neighbourhood, Malá. I think it did get flooded. It's last time in like 2014. I think it's prone to flooding around this part. Obviously the Vltava rises up and this is lower down. So here you've got the David Cherney sculptures to the victims of communism. Sort of self-explanatory really. It was Czech Republic, or Czechoslovakia, was under the occupation of Soviet Union, and this sculpture was installed in 2002, I believe. It's actually damaged a few years ago by attempted bomb attack. So not necessarily popular with everyone. Anything, I think the bomb attack attempt probably added to the artistic value of the work. It's got a timeline that runs all the way along as well. Showing all the victims of the communist occupation, Soviet occupation. A lot of David Cherney sculptures around the city and farther afield. This one's one of the more sober ones, I think. Another sculpture by David Cherney. It's submerged tank in the Ukrainian flag, obviously. Very old church. We're heading down this little side street now. See if I can grab a table at this place. Sure what this is, but looks kind of interesting. The Second World War dates on it, so obviously to do with Second World War. Can't read that too much. Something Czech, national. Too dark for me to read. Got a quite good view of the castle complex, all lit up. Well, not a bad little view up from up here in this park. Got a bit of a view of the castle and down onto the Charles Bridge, Vltava. It bends round. Not only is it home to a good view of a lot of the main city of Prague, but you've also got this large metronome installed in 1991. Used to be a big statue of Stalin stood on the site where this stands now. That was blown up with dynamite, no less, in 1962. And the metronome installed in 1991 is like a symbol of new age. I think it moves actually, but obviously not moving at the moment. I'm sure it does move, possibly during the day. I'm not 100% sure on that though. Apparently 7 tons, the metronome. I'm guessing the statue of Stalin that stood there previously is much heavier, no doubt, and bigger. So yeah, good vista out into the city here, as I say. Maybe it doesn't move, maybe it's just sort of there as a symbolic sculpture monument. So So either way, it's got a good view over the city. The city you see over to Charles Bridge over there. So I think the Jewish quarter just around this part. A modern city in the distance with the high rises. I believe it's main hangout of like skateboarders as well. So you see why.